Hi, this is Mike Torsha. I want to welcome you to Live Well and Thrive. I have a very special guest and a dear friend, Frances Fisher. Thank you, Frances, for joining us.
Hi. I was saying it's so weird to be sitting here in a brightly lit room. We're usually at dinner and very nice dim light.
Yes.
Right. Sitting next to each other.
Yeah, exactly. I know. But unfortunately, we have to be
Yeah.
across each other like this.
Yeah.
But I wanted to come in because we've known each
Mhm.
other for a very long time.
Mhm.
And we've seen our lives together, going in different pathways, but we always seem to reunite
Yeah.
and see each other at like the Last Chance for Animals event, the
Yes.
fundraiser,
Mhm.
or some kind of premiere party or something, or just running to each other at a dinner or something,
Yes. Yes.
And it's so nice to actually just sit here and just have a really great conversation with you today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've done so much with your life. I mean, and what you did during the strike, standing up for all those actors and just
Mm.
fighting for their rights. I'm so proud of you. I'd watch you on the news, KTLA and all the interviews, and you were out there. You were with the sun, so hot, the
Mm.
cold mornings, but you're out there
Yeah.
like a rare trooper.
I was out there with a lot of people. We have had a great negotiating team, and then the strike captains who fortified every strike line and all of the members who showed up. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of people who showed up every single day, including the other unions. IATSE and the Teamsters are in negotiations now for their contract, and they were with us on the line. And if need be, we'll be with them.
That's fantastic. And I know a couple times you had heat exhaustion, correct? You had to take some time off?
That's what everybody says, but it really it really wasn't. But something happened. I feel like I was drugged, honest to God. I don't know, because we cut off the picketing at 12 noon in the hot, hot sun. It was truly a hot labor summer. I went and had lunch with Michael Chiklis and a few other people. We had been picketing all morning. And then I went home and did a bunch of errands, and then I got in my car at 6 o'clock, and that's when I started feeling dizzy. I felt as if I were hallucinating, and barely made it to my destination, and went upstairs and just was feeling worse and worse and worse, and it felt like I was drugged, honestly. But I ended up 2 days in the hospital. Nobody
Oh, I
knows
didn't know
this.
that. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
but that's okay. I had great care. St. John's is a great place, and the people took such good care of me, and gave me fluids and got MRI, and they couldn't find anything. It was
Thank
just one of
God.
those. Maybe it was God's way of saying, "Stop picketing."
Yeah, really. I mean, I saw the temperatures. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, it was hot out
It was
there.
brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal. Yeah, they call it a hot labor summer for a reason.
It was worth it though.
Yeah, it was. We got a really good contract, and we righted some wrongs. We still have a ways to go, but that's what it is. We've got another contract coming up in 2.5 years, another negotiation, and we will build upon what we got.
That's great.
Yeah.
And now, what are you doing right now? Is there any films you're preparing for?
I have 3 films in the can.
Wow.
One is premiering in Newfoundland next month. No, it's already February. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to go out there. It's a movie I did in 2022 called The King Tide, a Canadian film. And I just saw it on a big screen at the Santa Barbara Film Festival, and it's really great. I'm really proud of it.
Oh, I look forward to seeing it.
And then I was at South by Southwest a couple of weeks ago with another movie I did called Desert Road that premiered there. We had 3 completely sold out screenings. They had to add a 4th one, and all the reviews were fantastic. It was remarkable. A first-time writer-director, Shannon Triplett, wrote a story about a woman who gets lost in the desert. Let's put it that way. And the interesting thing is,
We're used to the heat, so they're probably
well,
perfect.
let me tell you, we shot it during the negotiations. We started negotiating June 7th, and I got the offer around the end of May, if not May 31st, and I read the script. I thought, "Oh my god, I get to play a homeless woman in the desert with my hair and the heat, who cares? No makeup, dirt, no barely any lines." I thought, "This is perfect, that I'll be able to make my health insurance
Sure.
for the year." So, my schedule for June was to be in negotiations Monday through Friday with the AMPTP and our team, and Friday night, one of the producers would come pick me up and drive me to the desert. I'd get into my hotel, get some sleep, and I'd be in the desert for 2 days shooting my scenes, and Sunday night, get back into the car, go home, take a shower, get
Wow.
a sleep, and go back into negotiations on Monday. When I think back now
How did you do
how did
that?
I do that? There was I think it saved me in a way to be able to, because negotiations, as you know, no matter what uh, line of work you're in, when you're in negotiations, it can be brutal. It's hard. They play games. You wait. There are a lot of tricks that happen. You have to be on your toes. It was a real outlet for me to get away and
And do what you love.
do what I love and be creative. And, Christine Froseth, Beau Bridges, Max Matern. Yeah, we had a great cast. We all love each other. We became a little family
Wow.
as we do,
I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
title of the film?
It's called Desert Road, and we're
Okay, I'll
looking
look
for
for this.
distribution. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not you're always working. I'm so impressed with you.
It's so it appears. Well, if I'm not working, I'm working on something, or I'm doing a reading at the Actors Studio for the writers directors unit, and we're performers. We have to perform. I used to, when I wasn't working in New York, I would go and do scenes at the Actors Studio just to keep my instrument tuned up and ready.
When I was training Rodney Dangerfield, he always had me come to the Laugh Factory on Sunday night
Mm.
because he's always rehearsing his new jokes and how he's delivering it. And he was always rehearsing. Even when we were working out, he's running jokes by me.
Oh
So
my
I know what you're
God.
talking about. You have to continue or you're not going to be as sharp.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't it amazing? You think Rodney Dangerfield, you'd think that he would be laying back, as he got older, but
No.
he was still out there
He
doing
was
it.
always writing, and every
Yeah.
time I'd come to the gym, he'd go, "Hey, kid, come over here." And then he'd tell jokes for like 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
He would do this whole thing. And what was so funny about it was I go, "Rodney, what makes a joke funny? It's not the joke. Deliver the joke." And that was the big thing that I learned because he said, "Why do you think I train with you? It's how you deliver the instruction. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's stimulating. You're not making me lift weights. We do workouts in the pool because I told you I want to work out in the pool. So it's your delivery as a trainer. And that's why I'm sure why other people like your style of workout." And so he
Oh.
really opened my eyes to show me
Mm.
that my uniqueness is not just because I know so much about fitness and nutrition. It's my
Yeah.
style of encouraging and make sure people are positioned right and selection of exercises and when to pull back a little bit,
Mhm.
is that my delivery. So I found that was a very important thing that he said to me and actually helped me really increase the quality of my styles. I pay more attention to that because
Mm.
I didn't realize that was so important. He goes, "That's the most important thing about you."
Well, also something about you that I notice is that you are really enjoying yourself. There's a part of you that's always in enjoyment. I've never seen another side of you. Maybe there is, but when we've been together, you always find something good in whatever's going on.
Thanks. Well, my mother was that way.
Oh,
Always
okay.
look at the goodness of people and do what you love, and the money will come. So I
Uh-huh.
just did what I love to do.
Yeah.
I don't have a stressful life, you know? I have a very fun, enjoyable life, and I don't get crazy over the little things. I
Mm,
really don't. I don't let it
yeah.
get to me. I just let it out, move on, and, I like being around good people like yourself, you
Mhm.
know? And it's a wonderful feeling to be around people that are caring people, that are passionate about what they do and respectful to others, you know, and fight for others, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you are a warrior. Seriously, you are a warrior on those lines and speaking out on the news and fighting for your rights as an actor and as an individual. And so I was so proud of you when I'd see you up there, you know, and I wanted you to come on the show because it's not just about fitness and nutrition. It's about thriving in life, you know,
Yeah.
passion of what you do with yourself and paying it forward to our future generations. Because
Yeah.
there'll probably be a lot of actors that are listening to this show and be like, "Hey, wow, I followed her career." And like, for instance, how old were you when you first started acting?
Let's see, when I decided to be an actress, I was 20 years old, and I left the little town that I was living in Orange, Texas, and, got on a Greyhound bus and went to a regional theater where I was apprenticing to learn stagecraft, to learn everything that goes into doing a production of a play. I built sets, I struck sets, I painted sets, ran props. My daughter is so impressed with the fact that my first job was running props for Life with Father, which included 3 huge breakfast scenes that just flew in during a scene change and flew out, and I was in charge of that. I was really proud of myself that I made poached eggs from the audience look like poached eggs by coming up with cottage cheese and half of a peach from a
Oh, how
can
cute.
in the middle, and it looked like poached eggs
Right, yeah, I
from
can
s
imagine.
and it's like, I did that. So, creativity is like it's everywhere. It's yeah.
So when you were a little girl, did you watch old movies? Is that something that triggered it, you think?
No, not really because I grew up overseas. I never even watched, the first movie I saw, my mother took us to see Spartacus
Wow.
and West Side Story when we were in Paris because I grew up overseas, so we never watched television. But she always made going to the movies special. She would always put a little bracelet on my arm, and she would give me one of her little basket purses with um, a, a scarf tied to the edge to cover it so you couldn't see in. And I felt like a little late. I was like 7 or 8, and we would go to the movies, and it's like this huge screen, and I was completely entranced, and that impressed me. I never thought I would be on a screen like that because I didn't understand that those were people up there and there was a camera. I was too young to understand that, but the impression that movies made on me sticks with me. That's why I mean, I love going to movies still, and I'm hoping that the theaters can stay open and that, stuff stops streaming all the time and going straight to streaming. It's like going straight to video. I don't wanna watch something on my TV.
No, I don't. And you know what? I brought this up in one of my other interviews is that one of the most incredible times as a child was remembering on certain Saturday nights, my mother and father and sister and brother would say it's movie night, and we'd make a nice trip of it, go to see maybe it was a James Bond movie or some kind of really fun action movie, and just knowing that we're going to have our soda and our popcorn and all our kind of goodies and laughing and just watching the movie together and then go on the car ride home, we talk about the movie, funny
Yeah.
scenes and this and that. And that experience always resonated. And I said, you know what? I'd like to hopefully maybe these millennials will realize what it's like, even if it's not with your parents, maybe with your friends. You
Mhm.
go to a theater, Make it like an event, an adventure.
Yeah.
And then after the movie, go get a cup of coffee. Talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe what you would have done different. Or
Yeah.
maybe it was the opening was a little bit slow, or it was great. I loved every part of it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what was enjoyable, was those memories of family unity, making it like you said, with your mom, with the bag and the little scarf there. You know, it resonates to your mind right now of something that was very, very long time ago, how it affected your life.
Yep.
Because I loved when my father and my mother would be giggling, or my mother's in a horror movie, she gets so scared, but just affect we were all together.
It's a group experience. I mean, that's why theater was created, right? People would come together and see the human experience acted out on a stage.
Yeah.
And you would share in that experience, whether it was laughing or crying or, and you look at each other. And I always say, when you go to the theater or go into a theater and watch a movie, you go in as strangers, but you come out as comrades because you've experienced something together.
Yeah.
And how many times have you been at the theater when you're laughing or something, and then you'll look over at a stranger and you'll catch their eye and, and connect for a moment about what's going on? You're sharing an experience. I love the arts. That's why I love doing
I
them.
do too. There was one movie I saw, it was very sad, and it was right around the time when my father passed away. And the father in the movie passes away, and it was an afternoon movie. I just was going there because I was kind of like, just want to get my mind off of stuff,
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I started crying, and then there was a woman like a few seats down with her little son, about, I don't know, 8, 9 years old, and she was crying. And I was like, and then after the movie was over, I said, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Not really. Are you okay?" I said, "No." It triggered something, and all we did was cry together. And her son was crying, and I said, "Why don't we go get some tea or something?" And she told me her father just passed away. My father just passed away. And here are two souls. The universe brought us in the same time, and I still stay in touch. This was years ago. We still stay in touch.
Oh my God.
And it was a beautiful soul. But isn't it something that I was in that theater at that time in the afternoon on a Friday, and there were only a few other people, and we were both in the same mental state of mind.
Yeah.
And we were both emotional. I was so choked up at the end of the movie, and I saw her, and I was like, wow. So again, that I really feel today, everybody's so stuck in staying at home, watching things on their phone or their tablet. Get out of the house.
Yeah.
Put the phone down. Go out. Call a friend. Just go out and catch a movie. Go see a play. Go see a comedy act. Get out of the house, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were just locked down for so long.
Oh,
People went crazy, right?
yeah, yeah.
But the streaming platform, just a lot of crap on there.
Oh God,
Oh my
there's
God,
so
it's terrible
much.
movies.
What was that song that Springsteen sang? 1,000 channels and nothing on. Or I'm sorry if I'm wrecking that, but I just remember, that there's so much crap. It's like throw the spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks.
I go to every single stream. I get them all.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you something. Over the weekend, I was like, enough.
I have a movie for you. I just saw it on a big screen. Jack Huston's movie with Michael Pitt. It's called Day of the Fight.
Day of the Fight.
It's about
Is
a
it
boxer. It's not out yet, but it will be.
okay?
They're looking for distribution. There will be screenings. It harkens back to the days of Cassavetes. Small story with a big heart, and everyone can relate. No special effects, no explosions, none of that stuff. Just a story.
Like Raging Bull, just a story, no special effects, and
Yeah.
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 So have they taken it out to the different places yet, or?
They're looking for distribution now.
I have a distributor. I was just on the phone yesterday. He was the one that did Passion of the Christ for Mel Gibson. He said, Mike, find us finished film. We're looking for finished films.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one too.
Well, no.
I've got two actually.
well-
The one in Newfoundland in Canada is looking for American distribution.
Send me
So we're going to
info.
talk.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, we'll talk. I got 3 projects for you to check out.
Don, you know me. I know a lot of people. I know a guy. I'm Italian. I can't help myself.
Oh, God.
It's so crazy. I've been a trainer for such a long time, but I get people like, hey, I need to get bulletproof windows for my car. I go,
Yeah,
what are you asking me? Hey, you're Italian. You Italian guys know everything. You know a guy.
Oh, my God. Yes. Oh, my God.
No, but that's really great that you've got these projects you just finished and all the beautiful things you're doing. I mean, that's what I really loved about you. There's always something interesting that you're doing and nonstop. You're never stopping.
Can't stop, right? I mean, I do rest. I do make sure that I get my sleep. That's really, really important. And when I don't have something going on in the evening, I'm so happy to be able to get into bed early and just be horizontal, as my mother-in-law
I'm on the
used to
same
say.
page. Now, is there one, because I remember when you were younger, you did some action films with Clint Eastwood. Is there one incident that you think was resonated or was funny that you did with Clint? Because I think there was one that you were on a bus. It was pretty wild. It was I forget which movie it was.
On a bus.
It was an action movie or where you're being chased. Is there anything that you did that might have been a funny story you might be able to share?
I'm trying to think if there was anything funny that happened that I could talk about. I don't think I was ever on a bus, but you know what? My memory is getting worse and worse as I get older. I think that's why people
It was
write
almost like
memoirs.
a shootout or something, but you did some action. I mean, you did some heavy duty, almost like stunt work when you were younger in some of those scenes. Or like it was
that
action or
wasn't
running or something.
running. Is that
It's been that long ago.
I know. I did Unforgiven with him,
Yeah.
but I don't think there was any running.
Was there anything in there that
pies at him.
resonated in your mind when you did Unforgiven?
Well, I'll just quickly, there was a scene up in the whorehouse where the tension is building and the cowboys are all outside and they've got pitchforks and fire sticks and things like that, and we're all upstairs. And we were rehearsing the scene, and Clint says, just go on over to the window and just yell out to the window. I can't remember my line now. Just tell him to fuck off. I can't remember what the line is. So, he says, okay, stand here. And so I kind of did it. But that was a rehearsal. And you go, okay, anytime you're ready, we're rolling now. And of course, because of the tension of the scene and the stakes of the scene, I was pissed off and I screamed it out because I had to reach those guys down below on the street. And I screamed so loud that the sound guy went, whoa.
Oh, how funny.
Because he wasn't ready for me to scream. And I felt so bad. The whole crew cracked up, though. But the poor sound guy, it was funny at the time.
Now, is it true that he likes when people just do one take?
Well, it's not that people do one take. Sometimes he shoots the rehearsal. We don't know it because his feeling is that actors are pretty loose during the rehearsal because they're still finding their way. And he says, I just roll on it because I might find some gold there.
Oh, wow.
Because there's a relaxation that happens because, once the cameras are rolling, it's like, oh, now I gotta, I gotta act.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing because of his experience as an actor. A lot of times the director's like, okay, rolling speed, action. It's like, that's another thing. Because the director wants everybody to know that we're rolling, but it's like if it's an intimate scene, the last thing you want is somebody to yell.
Reaction, yeah.
So Clint always would say, just go ahead.
Oh, wow.
Sound, speed, rolling. Go ahead.
Oh, that's
And
great.
so it's gentle, it's quiet.
Yeah.
And I was in couple of scenes, short scenes, small scenes where, yeah, he shot the rehearsal, but we were unaware. And so there was a naturalness to us. We didn't do much different anyway, but when because Jack Green was, on the camera dolly, and so they did the movement. And it's like, "Okay." And it's like, "All right, we ready to shoot?" And Clint goes, "No, we got it." And I go, "Wait a minute, you weren't even rolling." He goes, "Roll on the rehearsal too sometimes." And, yeah. So, but if he gets it in one take, he's not gonna fool around and say, "Oh, try it again," or "Try it your way," or
Yeah.
because he's got it. And that's what makes him so efficient.
When I was working with Matt Damon for The Bourne Identity, Doug Blyman was directing.
Mm.
And there was a scene where we were in this embassy, and Matt had to keep doing this kind of like fight scene, and Doug shot it 22 times. So then Pat Crowley and Frank Marshall and Kathleen Kennedy take him into a room, and they started like really going off on him,
Going off on
Doug, because Matt was saying, "I'm done." I mean,
yeah.
there's probably several takes that we could use. What's going on? So while they were arguing, I had them play back some of the beginning shots because I remember one that really resonated. Because my major in school was film and communications because I wanted to be a producer.
Mm.
So the second was amazing, and I just knocked on the door and they're like, "Who is it?" And I said, "Hey guys, I think you need to see take number 2. I think it's it. It's amazing." And they look at me like, "This trainer," but they liked me because we became pals. They said,
Oh.
"Okay, the trainer wants to look at take 2." So they look at it and they go, "He's right." Okay, we want to take 2. Did you know the next day, Frank Marshall had a chair had my name on it, and he had me sit next to Doug for the rest of the film and the movie.
You got it, Doug. You don't need 22 takes.
No, you just need my torsion there. That one's good. Next.
Next. Okay, well, that's it,
Yeah.
It's like different perspective.
But I
maybe.
like Clint's style.
Yeah.
It is kind of jolting when they say action.
Yeah.
You're like
And
this.
he said he learned that from his Rawhide days, because he played a cowboy back in Rawhide. And he said that when they would be on the horses and the director would yell action, it would spook the horses and they'd be off their mark.
Wow.
So he learned it all the way back then.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, I wish more directors would take heed.
Be more sympathetic too.
Yeah. It's just the vibe. And the other thing that's great about an Eastwood set is it is quiet. You can hear a pin drop. It's the most giving space. It's a holy space because that's what I always think of as what I do on stage. It's like when those lights are on, they're like a truth serum. It's like you have to tell the truth. It's that dance floor that's created by the crew and everything I learned, when I was a young actress, all the people who contribute to that dance floor where the actors get to express themselves. Same as in movies, he creates that space that is quiet and there's no little chit chat around, so that the actors can concentrate.
Yeah, it's safe. I get it.
I've been on sets where people are just talking loud and sit there and go, I gotta, try to be in my own world and everybody's yelling and with no respect for what's going on.
No, I was last year I shot a TV series, an episode of Physical, Rose Byrne. I played Jack LaLanne. I gotta tell you something. The extras were so loud. And
Background.
oh, excuse me. The background.
It's changed. It's just a new.
Okay. The background.
Yeah. They were loud.
Was so loud. I'm trying to, I had to remember my lines. And finally, the director said, "You have to be quiet on the set, or you're getting out," because they were so loud. And here, the other actors, and Rose wanted to focus on her, and they were so loud during the break that it was distracting.
Oh, it was during the break.
It was.
I'm surprised because usually background have been told to be quiet unless they're rolling.
It was
so
an expo scene.
It was a what?
It was an expo. We were supposed to be at a fitness expo. And they got all these what they call gym rats, and they were just the whole time. They've never done it before. They like
see, they were not professional.
No, they're like non-union. And I had to turn to guys. I knew some of them. I said, "Guys, come on, please," because they were talking so loud.
Yeah.
While the director and we were going over stuff, they were so loud because you remember there were like hundreds of people in there. It was in a big stage, so it echoed in there, right?
Oh my God!
And I just said, "Oh God." But what you shared with me with Clint was like, "Oh, I would have loved to have that experience."
Yeah.
Where you just have that peaceful, quiet focus.
Yeah.
That.
Sometimes, because again, the PAs are there, they're, quiet on the set, rolling and all that. Sometimes they just do this because everybody's watching, even on the outside, even outside the set, on the porch or whatever, because everybody's got to stop. Everybody's got to, stop moving.
Yeah.
Stop talking. But the PAs are just doing that. Everybody's watching. There's a great deal of respect on an Eastwood set. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great way to end the conversation.
Talking about it.
No, but it's great. I want to thank you for coming in and sharing your stories, and it's great seeing you again.
So good. Yeah.
And you definitely have to come back and tell more stories.
Tell more stories. Yeah, for sure. I want to learn more about your family too.
You definitely will. We'll have to go to dinner.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, thank you for watching Live Well and Thrive, and please subscribe. We need your support. Have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching this episode. Got great news. The merch is ready. You're going to see an array of all kinds of great products. Go to operationfitness.com. If you want to order anything, click on my store. Thanks for your support.